Hey everyone, what's up? I'm back from Orlando and I want to get some of the clips from my time with the vendors out to you guys so you can see that and see what's available and hear in their own words what the vendors have to offer and what's out there. As you can see, been a little busy with my own kind of projects here. I am dealing with some major apartment therapy, so I'll be hard at work with those, but in the meantime, here are some clips. Hope you enjoy. Talk to you guys soon.
Going to give you a general idea of how we got into the market here. So we were actually distributing everybody else's lift, and we do everything from head walls to med gas outlets, the pipeline, and it just kind of evolved from there. And we went into clinical and booms, and so what I do is we distribute this. And we had a nurse ask us they wanted an XY gantry system with the boom, and they're fighting for space on the ceiling, right? And she asked us, I do most of my transfers, 90% of my transfers in and around the bed. Can you put the patient lift in the boom arm? So we were able to do that. That's patented. Nobody else can do that. What allows us to do this is now we can also implement safe patient handling in the OR. Putting a track up here would be next to impossible. So you can just implement the patient lift into the boom arm and swing it in and out of the surgical field. Right? So when we were doing this, we were putting their lifts on our boom arm, and the feedback we were getting was too big, too bulky, hard to clean, too many grooves, too many buttons. And we went to them and we said, hey, is it possible for you guys to design a smaller lift? And we were told, can't happen. This is the way lifts have always been. That's the way they'll always be. They got to be big. So we took that as a challenge ourselves, and we came out with the Go Lift, the smallest patient lift on the market today. It weighs 10 pounds and lifts 700 pounds. We also have a 400-pound option that weighs 8 pounds and lifts 400, obviously. Right? So things we wanted to focus on, very seamless design. We made this out of rubber. A lot of them is fabric for infection control. My favorite is the remote, and clinical staff love this. So we've done capacitive touch, meaning indentations. You don't have to push down hard on the button, right? You just place your hand over top of it, right? The next thing we did was we eliminated the hook, right? So no more hooks, no more grabbing. Dirt builds up in it. You can just stick it wherever you want, right?
Pretty versatile.
Yeah, right? The next thing we wanted to do is we wanted it to be able to come down from the track very easily. So like I said, this is fixed by nature, but you can take it down completely toolless and access the battery. Like completely
Cool.
small battery, nickel metal hydride, right? You get about 350 lifts, average weight about 180 pounds. So right now you can't push this button. Safety precaution. You have someone in it, you actually have to lift this in order to take it off. You can hold that. So it can hold 700 pounds, pretty solid. It's about 5 pounds. Okay? So what you do is you lift up, release, and you can take it from room to room, right? Obviously, you still need a ladder to get up on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
But at the end of the day, like a lot of hospitals, if they don't have the budget to buy 100 motors for 100 rooms, they'll track every room and they'll buy 50 motors, then they'll just switch out when they need. And then you don't have to make one room bariatric and another room bariatric, you just plug and play. Yeah, so what also makes us unique is we have trolley adapters for every lift. So this is our trolley adapter. We're the only company that you can eject the trolley from the motor in the way that it's done. Some other lifts do it, but we're one of the only companies that have it this way. And essentially we have trolley adapters for every single manufacturer out there because we distributed their lifts, so we have their track profile. So as you can see here, different sizing, so just different wheel sizes, different charging points. We slide it into the track, we pop our motor in. You don't have to change your your tracks to change to our motors. And so this is made up of, it's a 3-part specialty. We actually use a motor from the automotive industry. It's your power car seats.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they're mass produced, they're cost reduced, and we get them very easily. And it's between the batteries, the metal gears, and the motors, we're able to make it super small. We are now launching this week the smallest portable lift on the market today. It's the first time that we've shown this, right? And it lifts 450 pounds and it weighs only 6 pounds. This you can have tethered as well, because a lot of people will complain that it'll get lost, but it's a magnet as well. So we'll tether that and we'll put it like in an iPhone case. We'll make like a case for it so that it's protected if it drops or falls. The whole idea is you don't need a ladder to get up on this one. There's like a reacher bar right over there. It'd be connected to the reacher bar, and you can simply just take it off and move it from room to room, right? It's got a built-in handle, so there's nothing this small. When I was working with patients every single day, one of the main complaints I got was these things were too heavy. Moving it from room to room. There's a lot of people coming in and out, and you want something easy that you can move from room to room, and 6 pounds does that. A lot of times, like, you're trained to lower these down to a table and release. Yeah, this one you don't have to, but depending on the person, you may still want to, right? It's optional. And this opens up a whole network of people, right? Because now this is more sold in the home, in long-term care, group homes, right? This is more of an acute care setting, right? So it just kind of depends, but now dealers can kind of bring this into their fold, and it's something that's very, very different, and that's the way we've kind of gone about it.
I like it.
So,
Thanks so much for your time.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
John Storm.
John Storm,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Nice to meet you, Jeff. Everything from floor lifts all the way up to the ceiling lifts. It's made in Nebraska, so all made in the U.S. here. So, and we also have our own sew factory. So anything you need specialized, we can handle your needs. Cool. If you need something a little different, then we can help out. Like there was a veteran one time that was a single amputee, and we sewed him a little pouch so he wouldn't feel like it was falling down into the hole of the sling. So we can do little things like that because we have our own sew factory here.
So customizability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing is the ownership of the lifts. It's a very low ownership. These are very, very sturdy. They're magnetic. You can drop them on the ground and they still work. If it does break, it's only like $150 handheld control. Some companies are $300 to $400 handheld control. So there's another big thing is the battery packs here. The 2 batteries inside here, you can go get for $40 at any store. So in 3 years, these batteries will probably go dead. So some people are sealed batteries, and you have to buy it from them. And again, that might cost you $300 or $400. You can go down the store and replace them yourself. You can call us, and we'll sell them to you.
Like what kind of battery?
They're just 2 12-volt batteries.
Oh,
little sealed lead acid batteries. So you can go get them. It's not anywhere. All the stores have those things like that. So that's what we like to tell people, the cost of ownership. There's cheaper parts. You can go get your own batteries. We have our own sew shop, so it kind of makes us unique in a way. So we have a lot of specialty stuff that we can provide people.
And what about the sealing devices? What are the main differences between you guys and the others?
We use the 4-point. As you might notice, everybody else uses a 2-point. We use 2 for the legs and 2 for the shoulder area, which basically allows for everything to be spread out more. When you do a 2-point, everything is going, so it's going to pull everything in tighter. This allows everything to float, and we call it a floating 4-point also. So even if they hooked it up wrong, instead of one leg being way up higher because they hooked it too high, This is a floating 4-point, so it's going to float with them, and their body's going to stay level.
So it's
if
kind
somebody,
of like auto-leveling.
Exactly.
Well,
Yep.
as a passive thing, but
Yeah.
still.
So
feature built in.
if staff mishooked up something, this is going to compensate for it.
Okay.
So that's why we like the floating 4-point style hanger bar.
Very interesting.
And we have them up to 1,000 pounds, like most people do. But there's not everybody. We have a sit-to-stand lift up to 800 pounds. I don't think there's hardly, maybe one other company has that weight capacity. We have a floor lift up to 1,000 pounds. I think there's only one other company that has that also out there. So we do have some good heavy-duty lifts, and it will last you a long time. The same thing with the ceiling lift. Some companies don't have 1,000 pound, where we have the 450, 625, and 1,000 pound capacity.
A couple different options.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where you can use the one motor for 1,000 pound. A lot of other companies you have to do 2 motors to do 1,000 pounds. So those are some of the differences with van care.
Great.
Yeah.
Are the motors removable or like transferable between?
We do have the
tracks?
portable option here.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have the portable. So this model here is 440 pounds, and it can be transferred from room to room. Yes, we sell a lot of those. Some people start out with just the portable motors, and then as their budget allows, they start buying more fixed motors. In all of our greenhouse cottages that we do, they all buy 2 motors per pod. Each pod is 10 or 12 beds, and they buy 2 motors for each one. Then they carry it from room to room. So it is one of the lightest on the market. It's only 10 pounds, and you let up, and that pulls out, and then has a nice carrying handle that they can carry room to room. Also, we're one of the very few that have a 600-pound portable motor. I don't think anybody else has a 600-pound capacity portable motor. So, and we have a lot of people that end up buying those. Yeah, people get it bigger and bigger and bigger. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's some of the differences with us.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'll see you around.
Yes, sir. Have
Yeah,
a great
thanks
day,
for
buddy.
walking.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thanks.
On the lift, you can use this as a standard lift. Also has a power drive. However, in regards to car extractions, you can use this for car extractions. But the unique thing about this is the mast works separately from the sling bar.
You mean
So from the strap.
okay.
So you can lift this all the way over the vehicle, and then lower this separately to get it inside the car. So it's like when you if you use a regular lift to get a patient, which facility you now? I worked ED for 10 years. I worked with Sarah for in the emergency room over in Arizona. When you're using a regular lift, 9 times out of 10, the bar is going to hit the vehicle. So then you have to get the patient, pull the patient out to get the sling behind the patient, and that's going to defeat the purpose. I mean, then why are you doing it to begin with?
Right.
So with this, you just put the sling behind the patient in the car, move this over, just like in the video it's showing,
Yeah.
and then get the strap all the way inside, because it'll go all the way to the floor, but it'll go all the way into the vehicle to the patient. And then so when you start lifting up and out, so instead of the caregiver trying to get the patient out to get them in the lift,
Yeah.
this will do it on its own. So then it's lifting the patient in the vehicle as you're dragging out. So that way you don't have to have the caregiver do too much manual lifting. It defeats the purpose of trying to get the patient out of the car.
Right.
You have to adjust the patient first to get them in the lift, to get them out of the car.
Right. And the versatility of the design
Right.
can
And
help you out
but
to different vehicles. So.
and the nice thing about this is, well, yes, you can use it for car extractions, but you can also use it on the unit. So you don't want to buy a one-trick pony. You want to make sure to use it as many times in as many departments that you possibly can. So you want it to do as much as possible. So that's why with the design, you can use it not only for car extractions, but you can also use it in the regular department for as a regular lift, do lateral transfers, manual transfers. But also with this, the wheels turn. With this in bed, turn the wheels, turn on your power drive, and then do your lateral transfer side to side. And then, also comes with, we have additional bells and whistles, oxygen tank holder, IV holder. We're also considering maybe putting a cup holder on this thing, topping it off with that. So, and then since it had a power drive, we thought it'd be cute, so we added a horn on there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things that we were listening to what people wanted. So this is actually based on an old design. There's another one that was called a multi-lift. That was a 550-pound weight capacity. So we bought the patent, we tore it apart, and we listened to what people had to say. It's like, what do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Like, well, 550 pounds. We need something. We need something more weight capacity that's going to match the slings that we currently see throughout other facilities. So regardless if it's another vendor, we use your sling. We don't want you. If you already have slings, use your sling. But we wanted to match the weight capacity to those slings.
Got it.
So we made it sturdier. We changed the design up to 600 pounds. And in an emergency case situation, if you need emergency lowering, we made it really easy. Just right on the top, you can emergency lower your patient in case somebody forgot to plug it in. Worst case scenario, we have to have that on there.
Yeah.
So, but we wanted to make it easy for staff to be able to operate it.
Yeah.
So the easier you make it for staff to operate it, they're actually going to want to.
Yeah.
So that's the whole basis. Simplify it so your staff want to use it. So staff want you to use it, and you get a lot more compliance, and the staff are going to be a lot safer.
Thanks, Gus.
Yeah. Very nice to meet you, Jeff.
To a foreign country to rip me off. No.
San Francisco. I don't know how far.
No, that's a good old American city. Our product was designed for a couple, and this older couple here. He had Lewy body dementia and a central tremor and was going through a third hip replacement, and we could tell it was killing her. So my husband came up with this idea of a top bar, the pull bar, and after some failed ideas, I came up with this foot bar to hold the walker down in place. So the caregiver puts one hand here. You want to do this? Yep. And rotates the foot bar down toward them, applying their body weight, and the patient reaches like this and pulls. And it's an easy way to get up. She's not straining her back. I haven't been pulled up. So it's just kind of a win-win for the patient and the caregiver. And then she will take her foot off, and then her hand, and then I'm on my way walking. If I need to come back and sit down, I'll back up to my chair. She will again help me because I'm someone that needs help. And I put my hands here, and I will slowly let myself down, and that keeps me from flopping and hurting. It's great for people with prosthetics or like a crushed hip or a broken hip or a hip replacement, but they can get up so fast that it's like they get through the pain threshold quicker. And the gentleman that we did the first one for, his tremor was so bad, but he just did it so quick his tremor didn't kick in. And she kept him at home for 4 years, and we figure it saved them $192,000, and they were at home.
Is this retrofittable
We
to
we
new
sell.
walkers,
We have a contract with this walker company. I mean, we could have contracts with any walker company, but this is the one that we got, and we retrofit all of these things. And when a person buys it, it is ready to use, and you can adjust it to the way you do a regular walker with the pins.
The other question you would get too is, can you widen?
Can
you widen that for like a bariatric patient or a larger? So
we have not done it, but that does not mean we can't do it. We have made a bariatric walker, but not on the brand that we have approval from. Now, we can. It's going to cost more, but we could do that.
It would just give.
All total, it weighs probably 14, 15 pounds. a whole lot lighter than a rollator, and you can sit anywhere, whether there's an arm or a couch or whatever. I guess it depends on the patient's strength, but the gentleman that we designed it for, he can get up from a low couch.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then I'm putting this down.
Yeah. So now all 4 wheels will lock.
And it's just going to go straight.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So we can lock
And
the
have
back.
it all up, and then you got.
Or maybe you want to lock the wheels that you can't move. That might be good for some balance activities. So maybe they want to stand on a foam pad to do it that way, or even a reach type thing. So
What is, okay, so, this is one thing I know I've used some equipment like this, but is it wide enough, So you're not very wide, and I know you can't go really, really wide, but I'm wondering.
we haven't had a big issue.
How far-
Large bariatric patients, yeah.
How far can you tip laterally? Like your body in this, will it stop you? Will you get a head injury if you hit this?
I haven't heard of it, but
Just
Yeah.
realm of possibilities.
somebody passes out.
Yeah.
Back that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to really
Yeah.
torque it.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Now, does this little thing just want to.
Yeah, it's a magnet.
Oh, that's special.
And like I showed you, for some reason we needed to get them out quickly, we can do that.
That's quick.
There we go. Okay, so what you have is you have the person on the center line. So you might go ahead, right there. We're going to put a little air on that side. I'm just brainstorming. Just a little. You can feel a little air. We're going to put a little air here, just to give him enough protection. So now when we train him, he's in. Right now, if he turned, he'd come right hard.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we'll go over here, and we're going to bring him up. And now we turn, achieve it. Now he's not on, he's on a bed of air still, but we achieve the turn. And then we want to do the opposite. We just basically let air out here.
I don't know if you can hear that, but that's pretty quiet.
And then we basically can reverse it. So I can think of a lot of lift companies. So I just basically achieved moving them without touching them. Good. Night.
Is this backing like part of it?
Yeah, it goes up and tucks, so it keeps it in place.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So that's just there to kind of hold the apron in place. Now here's another situation. It holds them in place, but it doesn't put pressure on his coccyx. But let's say you're in bed and the patient is a point where they're listing to one side, and you want to straighten them up.
Yeah.
You can basically use this one.
Oh, you could still, even in kind of a reclined
And then I can
position
go like that, and now I've centered him.
Yeah.
And now he's straight, so if somebody had a stroke.
So position change is a piece of cake.
Yeah, you can
Without
have
a lift.
Yeah, you have complete.
You okay?
I'm good. So we can go, we have complete flexibility to do whatever we want, but also it's a safety thing. He can't get out of bed. He can't try to get out because these airs kind of hold him in place.
Yeah.
So we keep him where we want him to go.
Yeah. So far, these aren't considered restraints yet, right? Yeah.
No, they're not, because they're not holding them.
Yeah.
Nothing's going down like this on them. We're basically just protecting them with air.
Right, which is what people do with pillows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just we're doing it. Now the other side of it is, if you use pillows, if you try to push those pillows up underneath, they break down over time. But
and you get shear.
Shear, exactly. Yeah. So if I wanted to go back, is I'm like this, and I want to turn them to a side. Let's say I want to clean the backside. Let that out. Let them all the way up. Instead of me reaching over and trying to pull them up, is that I can bring him up. I bring them all the way up. Okay, that's off. Now, as I hold them, go and hold them there, hold them in place, and then I can dump it, and hold them up. Now I can clean them.
Yeah.
Okay, and then keep holding them. If I want to bring them back, because he has issues, I did get this up. Now I bring it back up to him. Now let go. Let go. And then now I bring him down gently. Well, that's the Q2 roller. A lot of things that are different than what's out there on the market.
Yeah.
These have a 600-pound weight limit per bladder.
Okay.
So when you ship someone, if you get it up underneath and pinch it on machinery, not much we can do about it.
Yeah.
But it's, if you think about it, you're only moving parts of the body, 600 pounds.
Yeah.
If their legs are 45% of their weight, if you're not moving their legs directly over, you're moving most. Then you have, you're looking at some very large people.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in that regard, do you also have wider ones?
No, we investigated that.
Yeah.
But it was too big, too cumbersome.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So this one right here is our bariatric transfer chair.
Okay.
Holds 750 pounds. Weight load tested is 1,200. So that is tested. Seat goes all the way around.
Okay.
Complete 360. It's got a seat lock on this side.
Why would you need the 360?
Well, basically, sorry, go ahead. We go all the way here to be able to stand up, pivot, and the seat lift there's no real reason to go face this way. Obviously, nobody's going to go like that.
Yeah, I was just curious.
But it just makes it kind of more maneuverable, things like that. The seat lock, there is on that side to lock it in place. Yep. Yep. Okay. Back here we have the option for oxygen tank holder to hold into place. IV pole.
It can be locked in any position?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
transfers?
sir.
Yeah.
Yep. We also have an IV pole. So one good thing about this is that what we've found, I'll just come out here a little ways, you can adjust the speed. So there's a difference of short distance versus long corridors, long hallways. You can go a little bit faster. The numbers will tell you it'll go from 1 to 5. One thing that a lot of people don't always know is that when you're in a patient's room, you might not want to engage that. You are able to just go like this and not need to engage the actual throttle. Because somebody might go in there and go, how am I going to move this in there? Like with the motor running, and you can maneuver it completely without that. Very easily. I mean, this is on carpet, but it is very easy.
Will it roll away?
No. I've not had that happen. It does have a lock, like a power. It's got a big motor drive down there that locks it engaged. This is what we call a belly switch. It basically, in case of an emergency, it'll be an automatic stop. So it'll hit any part of your body, any part at all.
If you hit it.
If you hit it, it'll stop.
Okay.
It's just like an extra stop.
So
and
it's like
yep. So